Hey, what's up guys? Bob here. Welcome back to more Dragon Ball FighterZ. I know, it's been a long time since I touched anything for this game. Sorry about that. I've been busy with a full-time job and postgraduate life, so it's been a little bit. Luckily, I have been playing this game a lot in my downtime while at work, so I'm on no shortage of practice, although slightly so for Vegeta. Essentially, it's been a year since I made the Super Saiyan Vegeta a beginner to advanced guide, and I was rewatching it a little bit, and I realized there's a lot of things I missed. And there's been a few quality of life changes since he was released. Not really anything substantial. There's a few things more in the system changes overall to make Vegeta way more usable and worthwhile to use. Nothing like groundbreaking. For example, you probably noticed on my back right now, I actually have Trunks. Yeah, at the very moment, I'm actually running more of a team of currently Cell, Ultimate Gohan, and Trunks. I've kind of started to phase Vegeta out of my teams because I want to play with Trunks more as my sparking character, so this is kind of more my send-off for Vegeta as my anchor. I'll probably still use him for like Zamasu teams or with Kefla, I don't know, but I wanted to get this out there as like my final hurrah for the time being. So, there's been a couple big changes, especially with the Season 3 drop. Season 3 really changed a lot about this game. I know, I'm like 10 months late to the party, sorry about that, I only made a number of short films in the meantime. So, first the big one. Now, this is a little not terribly scripted. I have bullet points I want to go over here, but I'm not really like scripting this out too much in advance. The first big one I do want to mention is a big change to 214H, his DP, the heavy version, in fact. Now, originally back in Season 2, this move wasn't really... I mean, it was good. I suspect this move is a frame 1 reversal. I've never gotten confirmation on that. I know Jiren's got frame 1 reversals. I think Ultimate Gohan's like 236H is a frame 1 reversal, so I'm pretty sure this is a frame 1 move. Pretty damn sure. So originally this wasn't great to use, only if like you're in a corner. Back then everything cost a bar meter, so everything was super expensive. But now, since it only costs half a meter, suddenly Vegeta has way more availability to his defensive options, which is really good. Another big thing is that this now side switches. I don't know why exactly this now side switches. Maybe to differentiate more from the medium crusher kick. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know if the light version's ever been really touched for anything off the top of my head, but the heavy version now is a really good reversal. Yeah, the reason this is especially good now is because of the side switch. Essentially, this means that if you're being pressured in a corner and you're like, hypothetically, like down to half a health bar, and your opponent's coming in swinging, usually they probably expect like a wake up level 3, but you also have this option out of back pocket. So not only is it a frame 1 reversal, supposedly, it also puts your opponent flat in the corner with a sliding knockdown. So yeah, that's a half decent wake up tool. In fact, I think you can still get the full like super off of that, yeah. So, you know, take that for what you will. This is not too shabby actually. Like if I was using Vegeta online, I would definitely be utilizing this a lot. Like this really is good for Vegeta, as you know. Again, anchor. I still believe you mostly want to run him anchor. There's cases to be made for like mid, I think, because of his like high-low mix-ups, but for the most part, you're gonna want him back end. So another big change, I find this to be a great quality of life change. I don't remember what patch this came out with. I think just straight Season 3, I want to say. 2M, you know, this move that looks like it could be way better. It actually has a taller hitbox, meaning that instead of just like the hitbox now being on the floor with his hand, it actually goes up a little bit. In fact, it's such that if you were to do like a Vanish combo, it's a lot easier to land the follow-ups now. This is a really good quality of life buff for Vegeta. Frankly, one of the constant curses of using him is that if you're playing him online and it's even a little bit laggy, and you just barely miss it, you're probably not going to land, you know, the follow combos for anything really. But now this is great. This is actually pretty consistent across the board, so I like that. Something you want to note if you're going into this. So this is a very recent change. I know this for a fact because it was like the one change fucking Vegeta got. Final Flash. They made it way faster. Or not way faster. I think like I don't know what the number is exactly. Like it was made so that it's made to be more consistent now, but essentially the startup is now a bit quicker. So for example, Rip It Point Blank, so there's no like overlapping frames. 15 frame startup. That's not bad. I will definitely say one of the big problems using him before was that if you ever use him like out in open field and you get a combo going, when you land, depending on the distance, if you're even a little bit late, you might drop the final flash at the very end. No longer an issue. I would hazard a guess that Blue Vegeta got the same buff. But this, again, it's just more consistency. Really good stuff, because I realized more and more, now I look back on Season 2 Vegeta, he was kind of inconsistent. Like, not horribly so, but just enough that it's like, if you're playing online and it's clutch, you might drop it. So this is definitely a huge thing for him. It's just these small things that really add up to make the character better. Like, anecdotally, like 16 is seeing the same bumps right now with this game plan, so that's really nice. Okay, so with Season 3, yeah, it's been this long since I touched the fucking game. Vegeta did end up getting some new assists, so I'm going to switch to Gohan now, and we're going to have Vegeta behind me. So, first of all, there's still, with the various assists now, consecutive energy blast is now his A assist. And for my money, it's still really good. One note I didn't really talk about in my guide was the fact that this move is near full screen, so not only is it like a really long-lasting hitbox, it's also like really likely to let you get like the straight hits because of the range and the activeness of it. So like you can kind of just do whatever you want, really. Just go for that. Level 1, why not? Sad, pretty good. Now for the other assists that he has, I have not really messed with them online personally, but I have labbed them a little bit. I gotta say, I'm not too terribly impressed with them, honestly. So first off, a super dash kick. I have no goddamn idea why they made this an assist. I would have expected, you know, the ground version of consecutive energy wave volley. That would be kind of cool. Be a bit busted, but I mean, just make it so you can super dash through. It's not that big a deal. A couple reps of the ground key blast. Essentially, like my idea was that, hey, let's just make it like, so it's kind of like how Vegeta like plays with the key blast, or maybe even like the mini version of the forward kicks. I think that would have been cool for like a Yamcha, like give him a Wolfang thing. A Wolfang fist assist. I think it would have been sick. But now we got this. For my money, it's okay. It says it gives you like 65 frames of advantage. I don't believe that whatsoever. Yeah, no, like it gives you until he techs off the ground, which is alright. But the issue is it's got like, let's see, I haven't looked at this in a while. Maybe it's been changed under my nose. But it's got like no blocks done. 31 frames versus a beam, which is 32. Like, even Gohan's himself, you know, with the B assist and everything, fucking 40. So it's not amazing. Then again, this is also on the same character that has those energy volleys. So this by itself, combined with like the tiny kind of hitbox, I'm not too big a fan of it. Theoretically, you could probably squeeze this into like bread and butter combos. I guess if you want to treat it like a Bardock Lariat, there is that option, but I personally wouldn't go that route. Fuck. Gohan's forward momentum makes it a little bit difficult. Let's try Trunks. Just completely missed her. What the hell? Is the range actually not that good? Oh god, the range is terrible. Actually, wait, no. I need to show something off because this is kind of ridiculous. Okay. Vegeta's. Gogetas. Like, literally double the size. And gives you like a wall bounce. So like, yeah, you don't even need to think. You can just kind of just rush in with the huge wall bounce, and just kind of go to town. I wonder if Arxis kind of forgot Vegeta has this assist now, because this is probably one of the most useless assists in the game. It's not nearly as good as like a Bardock assist. Also, the fact that when it hits, it does flip your opponent up. It doesn't keep him standing, which is a small issue, but man, if he had the medium version of this, I would have loved that so much. Okay, but conversely, something that is pretty damn good is actually his C assist. Now, I think personally, C assists are a little overhyped, and that's probably because of the huge ass cooldown and everyone kind of just using them for combo tools. Like if you're running, I think people do good stuff with like base Goku with C assist behind him, and that's good. But I think on the whole, you're going to get more mileage if you just learn how to do combos regularly and just use C assist for that. However, that being said, there is a good case for his C assist because it teleports in, which is good. It's a DP, also good. Knocks a fly on their ass, also pretty good. yeah, personally speaking, this isn't the worst C assist in the world. This is actually something you can get some good mileage out of. Don't be one of those fucking madmen who runs triple C assist because you'll never have assist in your life, period. It's bad. But this is pretty good. I think you can just kind of like toss this out to neutral and then there's a good chance it will connect. But again, like what's the recharge time? Like double regular assists? Yeah, it's kind of rough. So pick this one sparingly, but there is definitely cases to be made for this one. Like off like a super dash combo. Like this isn't the worst thing in the world. Although it doesn't seem to have a tall upward hitbox. I don't know. I've never actually tried this one in columns before. This is kind of interesting. Oh no, there we go. That was off of a super dash? Holy fuck. That wasn't too bad actually. We'll try it again. Yeah, holy shit, that was off of one super dash. That's not too bad. Okay. But then again, I could get the same exact results using Vegeta if I were to just do like, you know, this. There we go. Okay, without dropping it for like the 5th time in a row. It's really just Gohan's combo structure. He has a lot of momentum when he's doing auto combos. I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, essentially, well, it's even more visible if I do it with like Trunks. Yeah, you can get like the same results using those super dash combos if you just use his A assist. So personally, I think there's still more merit to use his A assist, but that's just me. Okay, so going over his solo stuff again, he does still have some really good shit. Like I said before, season 3 introduced half heavy moves, which is really sick. One of them being, or one of the ones that really affects is his heavy crusher kick, because originally this move was kind of poopy. As in, it was way too much meter for too little return. If I hit this at just the right angle, I know I can combo off of this. Come on, I know you can. I've done this before. There we go. I knew you could do it. I'm not total garbage with Vegeta. I've just been putting way more time into Trunks, Gohan, Cell, so that's probably part of my issue. But no, since this move is now just half a bar, this is really nice. The issue still being that it's really range dependent. If you do it point blank, you're not getting shit off of this. But if you do it like around here, there's a little more bang for your buck with it. Like this is really more of a straight neutral tool than anything else. So yeah, take your poison. It's not too bad. Just be careful, and yeah, you can have a pretty good. Like look at that. Do you guys see how fucking high 2M reached now? Look at that. That's nowhere near hit right now, and it's still connected. That's awesome. I like that a lot. Oh yeah, also remember the fact that since heavy moves are now half bar meter, this does give him more usage of this move. I guess I can put this point here too. The whole thing about also utilizing like the heavy crusher knee kick in combos now is also a lot more usable since it only costs a half a bar. So for example, usually with the auto combo you get like a bar and like maybe bar and a quarter, bar and like a fifth, something like that. But now you can squeeze out a little bit more damage for a little less meter. Or yeah, for just like a bit less meter. So for example like this. I thought you can get for special. Give me a sec. Okay, so for example like this, you only make half a bar meter, but that's 4295 and you can side switch easily. I mean, side switching is pretty easy regardless if like you delay your like super dashes, I think. Maybe not with him, but yeah, that's not too horrible. Okay, so other various things I should have mentioned a lot sooner, but I failed to because I was doing it almost exclusively under the idea that you're gonna run him on back end rather than on the front. So let me just go ahead and get this order situated. So one of the things I didn't really mention is one of the other uses you have for 236L out of like just out of neutral or like in a block string. Now sometimes you will get your anchor like tagged in and you'll generally have like an assist or two behind you. Now I didn't talk about this because it didn't really come to mind at the time because I never really used it too much. But since I've been seeing base Vegeta utilize it so fucking frequently, I figured I might as well cover this. Alpha 236L, you remember that you are put in this position where you are above your opponent and you're like -5. Really not that negative, honestly. Like that's still safe. It's gonna be hard for your opponent to even punish you because you know you are up at an angle. So it's essentially a safe neutral tool. Now, if you throw an assist into the mix, utilizing Gohan's B assist because it is super fucking good. I think so anyway. Originally, I just picked up Kefla because of her B assist, but this is also pretty fucking beefy. Anyway, sorry, unrelated. Now, something really cool you can do is you can call an assist, depending on timing, in order to go for free mix-ups. The reason being is because, remember, you are airborne, so you are able to also dash off of this and go for stuff. For example, 2 overheads, empty jump low, or you could accidentally cross up your opponent too. You can go like 1 overhead into 1 low. This is all theoretical stuff. I don't know why I'm getting cross-ups, but hey, it's fine, whatever. I'm not going to complain too much about that. Now, the trick to that, however, is that if you are in... You're going to want to do this with an assist behind you, so that way you get the lockdown, and you don't end up getting, 2H'd out of the blue. So that's generally pretty good, as well as the fact your negative frames. If I were to try to do that with Hit as it has himself right now, if I were to try to do this, like, yeah, he's going to smoke me with, like, just anything, really. Yeah, hits me 5M is still pretty good. Anyway, so that's why you really want to call the assist out, so that way they can either soak the hit up for you, or you can keep them locked down. Time it so it's gapless. You're going to want to practice this one a little bit. It's a little bit finicky. Of course, timing changes with the speed of your assist behind you, so be careful with that. I'm going to have to time this one a little bit better. I'm actually not sure, and you can actually do this one with these 2 assists. But yeah, you can kind of see the idea. Like, the idea is to... Wow, that was weird. Is to utilize the lockdown from your assist in order to go for mix-ups. I imagine Yamcha or Kid Buu would be better for this, because I think they have more blocks than Gohan's assist. But that's just a general thing. Yeah, essentially, if your Vegeta's out early, you can just go for this, and it'll get you some damn good results. So, pretty good stuff. Or, although if your opponent is just spamming that, you can do some funny stuff. Now, something fun, I was advocating in my original guide that you should utilize 214M as your combo ender, because it gives you sliding knockdown, which is, it's not wrong, but there is merit to utilizing the auto combo as your combo ender. Why am I dropping this right now? What the hell? For example, I always advocate for this, which is still fine. Like, this is not a bad option, but it gives you a lot of distance from your opponent, which, I mean, for Vegeta, you can work with. Like, you still have your Ki Blast into, like, DP baiting. You probably are familiar with this metagame by now with Broly right now. Holy crap, his neutral is so goddamn strong. But it does sacrifice that good high-low mix-up Oki that you would probably want to get otherwise, because, it's easier to pressure someone up close with Vegeta than from a distance, like, just straight up. There's not really any arguing that. So I think if you want a generally better ender, you're gonna want to go with this. That way you are next to your opponent and you're able to freely start. Thought you could super dash after that. Never mind. And you can just start freely pressuring your opponent, more or less. That said, though, I think using the medium crusher kick ender still does more damage on the whole, which isn't bad. If you're going for straight combo ender or like a super ender, that's probably your better option, like 50-31 versus, like, I think 4900 if you go up for a Big Bang attack. Yeah, it does slightly less damage. Take it for what you will. If you're going to DHC into like a level 3, this is probably the DP ender is probably a better option, because at that point it doesn't matter, because your backup character is going to come in anyway for level 3. Just do it for what you will. I definitely recommend using the combo ender if you're going to go for Final Flash, because that wake up game, though, it's really good. Like, let me, illustrate this, obviously. Yeah, now you're like right next to your opponent after a dash in, and you can just start pressuring freely. So, definitely balance between the two for whatever one you want to use. And now a couple of things about sparking with Vegeta. There's a few things I actually did miss. I was kind of advocating that you should go for like general enders with your stuff, and like I was more focused on like the stuff you can do off like Vanish and stuff like that. But I didn't really start utilizing this until recently. Holding Vanish into combos. So basically, that if you hold Vanish, you can just like pop up behind your opponent, right? So I didn't really factor this in until recently, but you can pop up behind your opponent if you do like anything really. This is super nice. Basically, that allows you to safely turn a lot of moves into like just full launchers. Because normally, like if you go for the straight vanish, let me go ahead and actually illustrate this effect. You get the diminutive damage. Granted, this is still nothing to like really underestimate. 3500, it's still fine. But if you were to actually hold vanish and confirm this, there we go. Yeah, that allows you to get a full combo versus the reduced gains you would get off of the other version, which is the straight vanish combo. I would focus more on this like once you start like getting more comfortable with your characters and like you know your sparking options, because like you're gonna get a lot more out of this. I'm not gonna re-jump combo, so I can't illustrate this fact too well. Actually, hold up, let me see if I can do this. Yeah, this would probably be a bit easier. Granted, again, this is going to start becoming more expensive towards your bar. Not like it's really that... Not like it really matters, because considering that fact that you normally get a lot of meter anyway with sparking. So it's a bit of a moot point, but just something I should warn you guys about. It can start becoming a little costly. Although really the idea of sparking is that you're cashing in or you're done. So... I guess at that point, it doesn't really matter too much anyway. I guess this also does bring me into another point I should have mentioned a lot sooner. This was actually something that was kind of big that Season 3 did also bring. I completely skipped over this. I'm impressed I managed to do that. So essentially off of sparking, you also can now super dash straight up. So that is pretty cool. That means that if you do vanish and you didn't already use it beforehand, you can just do a straight super dash like in the middle of your combo. So for example, like off of this, you're not gonna be able to do a super dash. Yeah, like you already used it there. However, if you do on the ground and you do stuff, this does open up quite a bit of possibilities. Not only does it allow you for more consistent enders if you want to go that route, but this also opens up a lot more options like in the long run using like various characters. Let me see if I can actually show this off. It's not too bad. You can play around with that. I've seen there's definitely a lot of characters that can benefit heavily from this, like depending on like whiffed moves and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. I guess another thing that I didn't quite list out in my notes is the fact that you can do special cancels off of vanish as well. This also allows for dumb stuff like Zombisu being able to essentially just do Blaze of Judgment combos by himself now. If you do like the vanish into like the flight into medium God Slicer, so that's pretty cool for him. Vegeta doesn't get too much off of this, I don't think. There's nothing like exclusively, like nothing like really stupid that you can utilize this with, so it's definitely something that you can mess around with if you want to though. Like from full screen, like there's still like this. I had comments at one point in time I saw that you can do with Vegeta heavily utilizing these, but those notes are a bit lost to me, so you have to take my word for it or do the research yourself. They're definitely out there. There's definitely some options you can utilize. That's what I get for not scripting these out well in advance and not really doing too much research in advance. Go figure, drop in character, you lose stuff. Alright guys, so with that, hope you learned a couple of things. Sorry if this was a little scatterbrained or there are things I've probably glossed over because I haven't used Vegeta since like July, June I think. So it's been a little bit, been focusing more on my Trunks and other characters, but yeah, hopefully you took a thing or two away from this.